Hey folks, um, my other video, I was like, oh, it's so early. I'm up at 7. This time I'm up at 6. What's happening to me? I wanted to do a video that was a little more personal or philosophical rather than political. I was listening to Pandora the other day because I'm in my 40s, and and I was listening to the station for Dashboard Confessional. For one thing, I'm in my 40s, and another thing, I'm going to be going to the Minnesota Yacht Club music festival this summer, and Dashboard Confessional's playing, so I'm excited, and I felt like listening to some emo, and so yeah, I was listening to that. And a song by Cartel came on, "Burn This City," and I never listened to Cartel. I wasn't familiar with that, but the song is stuck in my head. Specifically, the line, "They say we're wasting our lives," and so I thought I'd comment on that in a wisdom from grandpa kind of attitude. I think that when a song gets stuck in your head, or for me at least, when a song gets stuck in my head, it's because my brain is telling me there's something about this that resonates. This is meaningful. You should look at it some more. I think music is kind of wonderful in that way that it can speak for us. Sometimes our emotions don't know how to break through all the distractions and demands of life. But songs can do it, and I've seen this over and over again in my life. In fact, I had a friend where I was just constantly sending her songs that were stuck in my head and analyzing why it was stuck in my head. And there are some days where you just want to listen to a song over and over and over again for hours. And I think it's speaking for you or speaking to you. And I think it's a good idea to pay attention. So this song by Cartel, "They Say We're Wasting Our Lives," is what I wanted to talk about. Because life is complicated. Life is conflicted. And I think a lot of times we wonder what life is about. Because the purpose of life factors in to whether life is being wasted or not. Ooh, I can see myself in my reflection. Hey. Yeah, if life is just intended to be fun, as Alan Watts will say, then, I mean, okay, so let's see. So the band, I think they were talking about their band, as startup bands often do. Sometimes, I don't know, maybe not often, but I've noted several instances of bands just singing about their frustration of or their relationship with their art. I guess I should put it like that. Being uncertain about what they're doing. And so this band is probably talking about being in a band, trying to make it big, trying to gain an audience, trying to make a living like that. And the song after it says we're wasting our lives, they say, at least we know if we die, we lived with passion. And I like that sentiment. And if you think that life is about having fun, like Alan Watts would say, then living with passion is fulfilling your life's purpose. But if you think that life is about something else, like obeying commandments or okay. So I I grew up Mormon, which we believed was a Christian religion, although some say it's not. We accepted Christ as our Savior. It's just a little different flavor of it. Mormonism isn't a Protestant religion. So I guess if you are expecting your religion to either be Catholicism or a religion that is protesting it, then we didn't fit that criteria. But it seems to me that any religion that accepts Christ as their Savior should be called a Christian religion. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the purpose of life, I guess. And that's a complicated subject. But when I grew up Mormon, the subject, the purpose of life was basically to keep commandments. That's how I was raised. It boiled down to keeping commandments. The biggest commandment was to find somebody to marry, have kids together, and then just keep on keeping all of those commandments until you die. And that led me down a path that I'd probably like to elaborate on at some point. But today I'd like to just talk about the purpose of life. If the purpose of life is to get married to somebody, have kids, and just keep trucking away until you die, for one thing, that's not much of a purpose. I mean, that's what my mom has tried to do her whole life. She's still alive, and has no purpose left, really. She did the marriage thing, she did the kids thing, she did the commandments thing. All of her kids grew up and moved away, and well, not necessarily moved away, but well, they moved out, I guess, of her house, and now she's just waiting to die. That's her purpose now. When am I going to die? I can't end it, but that's all that she has left, because she already fulfilled her purposes. She did the marriage thing, she did the kids thing, she did the commandments thing. I mean, you want to talk about wasting your life? But because she's not dying, then she has to assume, well, I guess God's got something else for me. Don't know what, because I did the big stuff early on in life. I endured to the end, and now I'm doing the just maintenance thing. But why? What more is there for me? I'm an old lady. I don't have anybody to take care of. Now people have got to take care of me. I don't know. Maybe she could take that, but she doesn't really. She's more focused on dying than she is focused on being a person that can be served. I guess that could be a purpose in life. It doesn't seem like much of a purpose in life, but I suppose it can be. But I am not Mormon anymore. I've left that behind. I left it behind. I guess that's the whole story. And I think that that is something that a lot of people would ask me, like, why did you leave it behind? And since this is a more personal video, and this is kind of related to purpose in life, I guess I'll get into that. And I think that some of it is just an accumulation of a lot of things. You know, people will talk about their shelf breaking. Maybe this should be a separate video. Yeah, I'm going to make this into a separate video at some point. Because I think that that's a big topic that a lot of people would wonder about. And you can only give your video one title. And that video should probably be titled Why I Left Mormonism, because it'll get more attention or something like that. And, or maybe just for the sake of whatever. Okay, moving back to my main topic, purpose of life. So I'm not Mormon anymore. So I don't hold to the that purpose. And when you're raised with a purpose, with a foundation, and then you reject that, then you have to come up with a new foundation, a new purpose. And I suppose that some people can say, I don't know what I believe anymore, and I'm okay with that. And, you know, it takes all kinds of people to make the world work. And so for those people, that's fine. So long as that works for them. It doesn't work for me. I need to have a direction. I need to have answers. I am a problem solver and this is the kind of problem that I want to solve. You know, there's lots of different problem solvers that solve different kinds of problems. And some people are very good at organizing to protest the government, and oh, I got back into politics again. And they can solve those problems. This is the kind of problem that I'm drawn to. And so I needed to come up with a new sort of spirituality for me. And I am a person that sees miracles and loves them. I see miracles all over the place. All over the place. It's true. But I mean, I guess if you see miracles in everything, then you see miracles in nothing, right? But I mean, I was raised to not see miracles. I was raised to not seek miracles. But when I say that I see miracles, it's almost supernatural. I mean, I have been in 3 or 4 major relationships, and I see miracles in each one of them, both in the start of the relationship and in the end of the relationship, and stuff in between. I think that jobs that I have had have been miraculous in the way that they started and ended, and I am coming to see more things in that light, and miracles. So what does this have to do with the purpose of life? What does this have to do with my new spirituality? Miracles make me think that there is some supernatural aspect to life, that there is some higher intelligence functioning. Now, I don't think that there is an individual being outside of ourselves that is controlling things, making decisions for us, guiding us in a certain way, having expectations for us, commandments for us, rewards and punishments for us. It took me time. It took me a few years to sort this out for myself, but I've decided that that we are all kind of this communal God. We are connected on more of a subconscious level, but that we do reach out and communicate on that subconscious level. And so when I say that those relationships that I have had were miraculous, it feels like my subconscious reached out and found this other person, and her subconscious reached out and found me, and we started building a bridge to each other because she was what I needed and I was what she needed at that point in life. Not for forever, as the Mormons believe, but for where I was. My first major relationship was who I needed at that time, and my second major relationship was who I needed at that point. And I am a growing and evolving person, and so I do have a tendency to need different people to work with me through these changes and evolutions. And so a lot of times our society will talk about a divorce as a failed marriage. I think that all of my relationships were successes. And I am very thankful for all of them. They may cause frustration for me at this point in my life, but they did something important. And I think that the people, the women that I had those relationships with, because I am heterosexual, I don't think that they were the only people that could have helped me to accomplish that, but I think that they were probably the best people. All things considered, I think that they were probably the best, considering my location, considering my age, considering my experience, considering my dysfunctions, my emotional needs, and considering her location, age, situation, emotional needs, dysfunctions, growth demands, or non-growth demands, or whatever. She was the best. Almost like a soulmate, but not a soulmate in the sense that it would last forever. My subconscious reached out and found the best person that would fit that need. And in the times when what I really needed was to not have a person, then I would not find a person. And I would be single and alone and growing from that. Okay, so this is my spirituality, that we create the growth, the experience that we are wanting and needing in order to develop ourselves. And if that is constantly happening, kind of in the background, then we're not wasting our lives. Something is always developing, and sometimes it takes time. My current relationship, we were in different places. We were living in different places, hours apart, and she and I both went to 21 Pilot concerts, and happened to be on Reddit. Neither one of us were big Redditors, big commenters on Reddit, but we both happened to be on Reddit commenting on the 21 Pilots subreddit, and we connected and developed a relationship from it. I see that as miraculous. I mean, and there's more details. I'm not saying everything that led up to it, but It was like detail on detail. One instance nudged us in different directions so that she would go to one concert and I would go to one concert, and they were about the same time, and we both ended up on Reddit for different reasons, and just little nudges, and it just seemed miraculous to me that this could fall into place the way that it did. But it took time. We had to wait for the concerts. There were things that we needed to do to prepare, but our actions and our surroundings provided the building blocks of that bridge, and eventually it was built, and now we are learning and growing together. So I think that probably the reason that song is sticking in my head is not because I feel like I'm wasting my life in my relationships or in my life in general. I think that it has more to do with where I am right now. I'm locked away in a clinical research trial for 2 months and plus a little, and there's not a whole lot that I can do while locked away here. And so I think that song might be expressing a sentiment that I'm wasting my life in this moment, in this setting. But I'm not. And I wanted to remind myself of that, and I wanted to express that to the world, that that life is about exploration and growth, and living our truths, which is a complicated topic as well that I should get into, because I think that's a little bit of wisdom from Grandpa that I'd like to share, but not in this video. So I guess, like Alan Watts, I would not like to say that life is about fun. Life is about different things for different people, and that's great. And he would probably say the same thing if he were still alive. But I think that he would agree with me if he were still alive, that not everybody should be having fun their whole lives. It's not everyone's purpose. But I think that we should all be enjoying our lives. But I think that, like Alan Watts, I would say that there's just no wrong way to do it. So, sorry, the power just went out. That was weird. That there's just no wrong way to do it. Whatever you do is okay. Even the hard parts, even the frustration, even the confusion is an important part of the process. And for me, I think that's comforting. It can be troubling, for one, to think I've been living my life in this certain way so long, and I didn't need to do that. That could be troubling as well. But I think that there's also an element of lack of direction. Like, if everything is right, there is no wrong way to live life, what's my direction? And I think that's something that I've struggled with a little bit, and for that, I just need to try to listen to my soul and say, hey soul, what's the right thing to do with my time right now? If there is no wrong thing to do, then what should I do? And I do some meditation, I do some pacing, I let my thoughts flow. And this isn't a problem for everybody. You know, not everybody's a problem solver like me. Some people, you know, they just find their groove and they live it every day, and that's great for them. But for people like me that are constantly wanting to change, maybe have some chaos in their lives, and you gotta wonder often, if nothing's wrong, then what's the right thing to do right now? And yeah, I just, and I think that that's part of the conflict, part of the balance of life, that things, that there are easy things and there are hard things, and this is kind of one of the hard things, and that means it's a good thing. It's not a good thing because it's hard, but because it brings balance, and helps us to enjoy both the, or so that we can enjoy both the hard things and the good things, knowing that they are both right and beneficial and perfect. So when I say that everyone is perfect, in my other video called Everyone is Perfect, it's because there is no wrong way to be. Life can be really hard. Life can be really painful. But it's intentional. It's all beneficial. It's all growth. So I've got lots more to think about and to share. But I guess lots more that I have thought about and lots more to share. And I think I'd like to make more videos about that. So thanks for spending some time with me, exploring our world, and I'll have more later. Goodbye.